All right. So, all right. Let's jump around. Let's open it up. Travis, what were your questions to Tom?
Oh, well, I mean, I guess the first one would be, Tom, I've listened to all your podcasts. That's why, like, when I was starting to really like dig into this, I started finding your podcast, and that's why I call you my hero because I was like just listening to you for years, like trying to like get all the stuff that all the points that you had and all the stuff that you were working through. And one of the big questions, like we're starting to get into, pheno hunting now, and I know you got really small space, and I've listened to you like how you do your pheno hunts, and you're doing them under a 4x4 space with a 4x4 light.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got 3 4x4s basically.
Okay, and you're doing how many? How was it? 72 plants underneath the 4x4. How many plants?
36.
36.
So
Okay.
6x6.
6x6 pots.
Yeah, 6. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, no, I just wanted to ask you about the process you do, and because we have a very small space to do it as well, and we're just starting to get into it. We just did 15 seeds, so 5 seeds a piece of 3 strains. So, yeah, I'm just wondering, because of the small space that you have and the small space that we have, like, if you could like walk us through how you do that. I don't know.
Well, it's pretty simple. It's just 3 trays of 4x4, one next to the other. I got 3 lights.
Yep.
And so we're really pot tight, just square pots, 6x6, so I can fit 36 on a 4x4. And the pots are a little small, like the plants will get root bound. So what I do is I took the idea of bottomless pot. So I have actually 3 pots, one on top of the other, right? So
wow.
kind of ridiculous there, but so that's how I make it work. And yeah, for me, it's all about running as many plants as I can to sort of cull the ones that I know aren't working. And the ones that I know aren't working don't have vigor. You can tell by just, a small plant, if it has vigor or not. Does it have the look? Does it have the terps? And ultimately, in the end, does it have the THC testing? Right? Because for the market, for our market anyway, I'd be curious for your market. Our market is still very, very high THC focused. So I realized that I was getting nowhere running 10, 12, 20 plants if it's going to hit 32% THC. You need to be looking at hundreds of plants before you find something that you're actually satisfied with quality wise and hits the 30-some%, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, bottom line, that's how we do it. And you've probably heard me say it before. Once I cull all the stuff that I know isn't going to work, then I rerun in the beds.
Okay. So you're taking a clone off of, or are you taking multiple clones off of one plant, or just doing one clone, the top clone, and then keeping your keepers?
Yeah, I have a veg room with everything backed up for sure. Yeah. So what I do, my trick for that is, again, we're limited on space, right? So all my backups for the pheno hunt, I deprive them of light and I don't water them properly. So I kind of have it down to actually slow down their growth as much as I can, and they're still keeping healthy. So like I said, just minimize the space. They don't get as big. They won't get as deficient if they're not working as hard. So that's how I do it there. Yeah.
So back it up. So you said you stack 3 pots on top of themselves. So you're getting like 12, 13,
18 inch or something like that?
Well, it's not that big. So what I do is I'll veg my clone a little bit before going in the R&D room in a small bottomless pot. And then it goes on top of a 1 gallon bottomless pot that's on top of my 6 by 6 inch pot. So it's kind of a small pot, then a bigger pot, then the main pot.
Wow,
That's
interesting.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some pictures of that. That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'll post some on my Instagram, sure. And I run it like still. I know it's in pots, and it kind of has to be because I need to move my plants around. So when you're flowering that many different cultivars, you probably know as well as I do, like some will stretch, some won't. So as they flower, I need to be able to switch them around. So they all sort of make it. And I don't know where I was going with this, but yeah,
same thing.
For being the reason being in pots versus beds, and I can actually run it regenerative. So what I do after a pheno hunt, even though they're all different cultivars, I take a representative sample, send it to the lab, just amend it based on that, and as usual, rely heavily on my compost, and I haven't had any issues. So as long as you just add a bunch of compost, you're just good, in my opinion. It's like you do your best to balance nutrients based off of lab samples, but then just put a bunch of compost.